Okay.
Hello, everyone.
How we doing?
This is Charles.
This is JJ.
This is Topadoes Media Junkies.
Welcome.
One and all.
One and all.
So, plenty to talk about today.
The big thing. I've been playing.
You wanna jump right into that?
I've been.
It's gonna jump right into like a little.
I've been playing a little game called Elden Ring. If you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, not sure if you heard of it. Very small, very indie.
Yeah, this company. They're kind of new. No,
they're
fucking.
They're from somewhere.
They're from somewhere.
From heart.
They deal with a lot of software. It's from software. Y'all know.
I'm sure you've been playing it. Everyone's been playing it.
I'm addicted. I can't get enough of it. So I haven't finished it, and honestly, I think there are a very small amount of people who have actually finished it.
I think Jesse said obviously trophies are only from the PlayStation, but I think it was at 0.1% of the people who got the trophy for the final boss.
0.3%. Oh no, the final boss.
Yeah, final boss.
Yeah, the final boss was like 0.1% on PlayStation that have like actually beat them. So that's not a lot.
Yeah, I'm not really looking to beat it until I explore more of it. And
me neither. I put like almost 30 hours into this game, and I'm only in like maybe the third area, and there's plenty more to go through. Plus the whole other map thing, which I don't want to spoil for anyone who hasn't played it yet.
I unfortunately haven't gotten to play as much as I wanted to this week. A lot of stuff came up, but the last 2 days I put in like 10 hours each day at least.
Oh my God.
What
do you think so far?
I like it. It's from a game.
Cool. Everybody likes it. Everyone, he likes it. Go out and get it.
I don't know if I don't think it's a perfect game.
Mm-hmm. What are your issues?
I like it a lot, so I think I'm going to insult it. Like, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. A 9. Yeah, a 9 out of 10.
What are your biggest issues with it?
I mean, all of the issues with this game are going to be one of those personal preference issues. Like, It's not like there's no point of this game that's like, this is bad. It's, I don't like this. Someone else likes it,
Yeah.
Like the combat, I wish it had the old, this might even be an item for it, but I love Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
I like the whole, you get hit, you're missing a chunk of health, but if you get aggressive enough, you can get that health back.
Oh, yeah, that is very specific to Bloodborne.
Yes, that's a Bloodborne specific, but the rolling, it feels like you can play like Bloodborne or Dark Souls in this one a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Like the rolling's a little bit better.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little better. And there's like, I feel like the jumping mechanic makes you feel a little bit lighter.
Yeah, jumping is very nice because I remember I pulled a Hunt Showdown. The jogs were chasing me, so I just jumped up on top of like a little ledge and then threw fireballs down on them.
Nice. Oh yeah, because you're playing Faith build, so you can just chuck out them fires
while you are playing.
Basically all intelligence. I'm a mage.
Smart boy.
I go into mind and intelligence, so I have enough mana that I can chuck around my spells. If I'm getting hit, I'm playing it wrong. So I'm like, I've got like maybe 15 into vigor, which is health, and that's where I'm staying.
I'm not that high in vigor myself, but like you said, if
you don't need to. If they can't get to you, then what's the point? As long as I can hit like a truck, I win every time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, PvP struggles a little bit. If you can catch them off guard. But I also don't have the full kit that I want as like my mage sorcerer to be able to deal with everyone yet.
Well, fun fact about this game compared to the other Dark Souls and PvP, you can't get randomly invaded when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible to get invaded.
No, you have to be with somebody, right?
You have to be with someone, or, which Jesse didn't even know about this. Didn't even tell him about the item you get from it. At the round table, if you walk forward, there's a little balcony you can look over.
Mm-hmm.
If you jump off the balcony...
Yeah, I fought that guy.
Yeah.
I haven't beaten him.
Once you kill him, he drops a tongue.
Oh, what does that do? Is it a consumable, or is it like the other multiplayer?
You can use it infinitely like multiplayer stuff, but it does a few things. One, it lets you get invaded even when you're by yourself.
Oh. It's
basically a PvP weapon. It's if you like PvP, it's for that.
Oh, that's for Jesse then.
It does two things. The major one is if you're by yourself, you can get invaded.
Uh-huh.
And two, normally the game's set up so you have up to you and 2 other people on your team, and then 1 person can invade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 3 max party with a 1 wiggle room for an invader. It removes one of the co-op people and adds it to the versus
like
aspect
if
of it.
You have 2 co-op companions and somebody invades you, they make the other person go to the other team.
No. It's just you can only have 1 person with you.
Okay.
So
so you're 2v1.
Yeah. It's 2v2.
2v2. Then who would be the second one with you?
Like, let's say I invite you. I can invite you, and then I can invite Jesse. That's normal.
Yeah,
And then one person can invade.
Yeah.
From now on, I can only invite you.
Uh-huh.
You can't invite a third person, but you can now have 2 invaders. So it's still 4 people on the map.
Oh, I see. So 2 invaders can join in at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time. So you can have 2 invaders running around.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Because all the other Dark Souls games, you could get invaded whenever. This
Yeah.
one, you can't get invaded
There are
unless you have someone with
NPC
you.
invaders that you get when you're alone,
Yeah.
regardless.
But those usually you can also get items from. And
Yeah.
usually-
Those are like important actual
Yeah.
NPC characters
yeah.
to fight. But I'm loving the game so far. I also really like, so, all of the Dark Soul games that I've played so far have always been like tanky sword guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like very Dark Souls combat oriented, like the shield and sword combo stuff. For me, I was not rolling as much with just using my shield. This one, I went completely different route, just doing the magic, so it feels like a brand new experience for me. Even though it is the typical Dark Souls magic, there are more of it, and I've never played it, so it feels like a brand
weirdly
new
enough,
experience.
I never used magic in Dark Souls, Bloodborne.
Yeah, I've literally never touched it. Literally, it's always been sword for me. So I wanted to go into this being almost like I know this is Dark Souls, but I've never done this thing, so it feels completely brand new to me. And it's a better mechanic now than it's ever been, so I can go back later on and do the sword and whatnot. But what is cool about playing a mage, I think, is that the sub-story of you, of becoming a mage, is going out and finding all of these different spells.
Spell tomes.
Because it's kind of like, when you do it the other way and you're playing the typical Dark Souls melee combat, you go out and you basically try to get your, like, 1 weapon and your, like, 1 armor set. This is like you're actually going out to learn the spells.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that, where it's like, I am looking to get bigger and better spells, and, like, you either randomly find it, or you go on this, like, mission to find that specific spell, which is kind of cool.
My selection of my character wasn't as grand as that. I was like, oh, cool. That subclass looks cool. At the beginning, picking classes, I was like, hey, that reminds me of something Bloodborne. I'll pick that. Faith and strength. Huh? Okay, I guess I'll go faith build. And
here we are today.
Yep, just
flinging fireballs.
Throwing fireballs, healing.
You'll eventually get a cool magic thing, too, where, like, a big dragon head comes out of you and you breathe fire.
You actually need both faith and magic for that.
Oh, you need both? How much intelligence?
Faith, intelligence. I think it's like 19 of each.
19?
Something weird. It's like a good chunk of each.
That's kind of a lot.
And I kind of don't want to commit to that.
I'm pretty big on min-maxing, which is why I don't waste...
I've never been a min-maxer.
I try to get the most value as I can.
No, I'd rather struggle a little more and then just do it the way I want to do it.
Yeah, I don't harp on you for doing that. I just specifically try to do as much into 1 or 2 things. But that's me. That's the great thing about Elden Ring. You can do whatever you want. There's a lot of different variety.
You want to be a wasted skin, you can be a wretch.
Yeah, you
Start
could.
with nothing.
You could start with nothing.
But then again, it's a nice even spread on everything.
It is.
But then again...
But down the line, it kind of screws you if you're min-maxing, because then you're like... You're committed to those points. Like, on the other builds, you'll see that are like sub 10, like even 7, I think is the lowest I've seen. And that works for a min-maxer.
Yeah, well, maybe I want to be the best waste of skin I can be, and I'll put every point eventually into each, go down the row and just perfect spread the entire game.
Oh my... later on, like late game, that would be ideal. That would be nice if you just kept going.
I don't know. You
could do whatever
be
you
able to
want.
do anything though, because I don't think you'll ever have enough points to get equip the weapons that you want or the.
You'd need to do the ones that you want to do first, and then go in and start.
Just waste the skin.
You're just going 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then start back from the top and go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Might try that a bit down the road and see how terrible that is. But
it's gonna be absolute shit for you. Can
I equip this weapon? No.
No.
Can I use this? No.
You just call him Jack.
I'll just have double crossbows and just be like.
Can you do double crossbows?
I don't think so, but...
That would be insane. I did see somebody do a pure archer build, which was really interesting. You have a short bow and a long bow. Most of the time you're using the short bow.
Animals.
Yeah, it's animals.
But yeah, they do give you really the option to just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weapon varieties in this game.
It's more than it's ever been, I know that.
Dagger, short sword, or dagger, short sword.
Whip?
They have...
The hell?
Well, they had that in Bloodborne.
Did they? Well, in Bloodborne, but never in like a Dark Souls.
I think they did. In the third one?
Well, in Bloodborne, you had the cane whip.
No, even in Dark Souls, I thought
did they? I don't remember it. Maybe I never had that weapon, so it's possible that they did.
They have spears, double-sided spears,
Mm-hmm.
shields, big shields,
Staves, I think that's what they call them.
fire torches.
Mm-hmm.
So you can poke people.
I always use a fire torch. It's really nice to have in your offhand. Lights the way, and you can set people on fire.
I just use a regular torch for that. I don't need a spear torch.
Spear torch?
Oh no, I'm talking about like a torch on a long spear.
Oh shit! I
don't
didn't know
why.
that.
Yeah, it's called like a torch pike or something like that.
Oh, I
torch
need
spear.
that then.
Yeah. You can poke
Just
things
in
from
my
a
left
distance.
hand, like because like on Magic, just have it in my left hand and be like, no, get away.
Yeah, it's like it goes out way ahead of you. Like you hold it like a staff.
I have to find that thing.
There's a few things in this game I question why they did it.
I
understand why,
Lay it
but
on
like the cool parts. I mean, it adds to the cool experience of getting teleported to new areas. Sometimes when you open a chest, but there's one chest that teleports you to an area where they have enemies that just shoot like 6 homing.
Are you talking about the crystal tunnels, the one I was warning you about?
Yes, the with
the prawns,
the crawdaddy boys.
Yeah, crawdaddies.
Actually, no, they're prawny.
They're prawns.
Long leg centipedes.
Yeah. I hate those things. They probably are right now, as where I am, my least favorite enemy.
They home in on you.
I know.
And what if you went to that place at like level 4? Like I was lucky. I played through a while and I didn't explore. I was exploring areas I shouldn't been earlier.
Yeah.
Like I was in like.
We all do that by accident.
No, I was.
I
got there and I was like, I can kill a few of these things if I do some stuff. So I'm just gonna sit here and do this and then explore around and get my ass kicked. So I got to like level 40 before I actually even hit that room. If I was level 2 or something, I'd be getting one shot and you can't leave until you rest at a bonfire. So
I know.
So you have to try to run past them, but they also have homing shots.
But yeah, and like the tunnel to get to the bonfire or the site of grace is like down a tunnel where he can obviously see you. Yeah. So they'll just be shooting. The only way to get around it,
constantly roll.
Well, no, the best way, because I did that area for a while because I was getting stuck with that one prawn on top of you. You gotta kill the guys in front of you coming out, and then crouch walk, and then crouch walk.
But if you were level 1, you wouldn't even be able to kill him.
No, you wouldn't. There's absolutely. And then I was thinking, if you didn't have range, how would you even deal with that guy?
I just sprinted down.
That's the only other way.
Even then, I had to like roll like a madman to just avoid all of
the shots. It is pretty funny though that a chest will like trap you into an area.
I love the idea. It's just very odd and it was like very close to the beginning of the game.
It's pretty close. Yeah, you could end up there by accident real easily.
Which I don't have a problem with.
Which I did not as early as like would like really screw you. I at least had a few spells under my belt, but I was only like maybe level 15, 20 when I hit it. And I was really struggling with that guy because there's 2 of them right there.
Yeah, and then there's a third one hidden in the back.
Yeah, so God forbid you aggro that guy too. But it is pretty funny because you're like, ooh, piece of candy. Like open up the chest and then sorry.
It does help reading the people's signs, even though half of them tell you to jump off cliffs.
Yeah,
I've had if they're in front of a chest, they're usually pretty good to be like no trap, and then. I've opened it and I've actually been pretty good and there's been no traps.
So I read a lot of the messages, but like not like as I'm just exploring. It's specific for like when I'm in areas, especially like the legacy dungeons and stuff like that. Or just like a shifty corner, right? And there's a message right there that'll either tell you a lot of the times like be wary left, be wary right. And because I'm Magic Boy, these help me a lot because I cannot get hit. So like I know where the enemy is going to be coming from.
You don't even need to read it a lot of times. If you just see them.
Yeah,
like, you see the signs like right
I
in
know
the corner.
Something
I'll be like
suspicious there.
That, or you see like a message surrounded by like 7 blood pools of people that died.
Yeah, and
like, something killed a lot of people in this area. What?
Yeah.
I don't see anything yet, so that means something's about to attack me.
I will also say something that I really like what this game did that I always have struggled with open world games. I get very overwhelmed in open world games. Like having a bunch of quests to me makes my brain go crazy because I'm like, I gotta be doing this one. I gotta go do this one. But what if I do this one and it has like, an item that I would want? It's just my brain like not being able to like focus on one thing. Like I'm already scatterbrained playing a lot of games. So this one, for me, they don't have quests that work like that. There's no quest log. You either run into stuff like that are bosses and you're like, oh, I'm going to try to beat this thing. Or there are quest lines that you just kind of, if you're paying attention what the NPCs are telling you, you have to go and kind of figure out this quest line for yourself.
Like there's this one girl who's like, oh, my father's in the castle up ahead, He might, if you talk to him, can you just let him know I'm all right?
Yeah.
And like, when I found him with Kick, he was like up hiding behind boxes and stuff. He's like,
Yeah.
and I was like, who the hell is this person? He's like, oh hey, so it's my daughter was looking for me, huh? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot you were even in here. I was just battling my way through here and I found you. He's like, all
that's
right,
the guy.
thanks for letting me know.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like how organic it works. Like, I don't have to really worry about having to complete anything. Like, you obviously know the main thing is to go beat these big bosses, but they don't really tell you where they are. You can kind of guess where they are pretty
They have
easily.
the bonfire for the main bosses. They have the bonfires that kind of point in the direction.
No, that's what I mean. Like,
Oh.
you can puzzle it out. It's not hard, but there's no like big marker telling you to go here, do this. It's
sure.
like, in the first area, the guy's up in the castle. There are a few people that tell you need to go beat the guy in the castle.
There's an asshole up there.
And then after that, there's not like, you kind of know like where,
leads
by
you.
looking at the map, you're like, there's something in there. Like, but I have never been told directly that this is the person you need to go fight as your second big boss.
There is one guy in the round table.
Mm-hmm.
He's inside the bookcase. Once you kill one of the main Elden Lords, he's sitting there and he'll tell you, like, he's got everyone listed out and he's like, oh yeah, this guy's in this area.
Oh,
like,
cool.
He'll
I
tell
haven't
you,
even gotten
like, it
to
doesn't
that.
do the whole put a marker on the thing, but he'll be like, oh, this guy, and then you click on his name, it's like, oh, here's a little excerpt about him. He's in the plains of whatever. And he's like, oh, the place has been rotting out pretty bad, so they're probably on the run, so he might be on the run with them out in that area.
Yeah, he's somewhere over there.
Yeah.
No, I do really like the way that it's set up.
And then this game makes it so you only need to kill 2 of the Elden Lords to fight the final boss, apparently.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like, it's like, you gotta beat 2 of them to, like, meet the minimum requirements to beat it, but there's, like, I think 5 of them total?
5 big bosses?
5 of the Elden Lords.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so the big bosses.
Yeah.
I think they're like the area bosses, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Like, there are like, at
They're
least
the
the
ones
regions
who
that I've
have the
seen,
pieces
there's
of
at
the-
least 4 or 5 that I've seen.
They have the people who have the pieces of the rings, the great runes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, so what was it? There are 83 bosses in this game.
That includes just, like, field bosses, though, which are kind of just,
Right.
like, big beefy boys.
And how many of them were original? I think it was like 76 or something like that.
Something like that. I know,
Are-
because there
are
are
original?
there's some clone boys in there.
There are some clone boys,
But
but
not
it's
never
not
enough.
a lot of them,
No.
which is pretty cool. But yeah, Elden Ring for me, right now is one of my favorite games to ever come out. Like, I can't say that
Favorite of the
as
Soul
a fact.
series, or
Soul series for sure.
I still like Bloodborne more.
Bloodborne's great. Don't get me wrong. This is tickling a fancy though that it's like
Like,
everything I want in a Souls game.
I
don't know if it's because I'm
Bloodborne's still
playing
my
Magic.
number one, but that's not saying this isn't an absolutely fantastic game that'll probably win Game of the Year.
Probably. If it doesn't, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah, the only one that I can foresee knocking out of place if it comes out, which I'm still not convinced that it is maybe God of War when it
Maybe.
comes out at the end of the year, if it
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
And poor Horizon Zero Dawn, or Horizon in general, the Horizon by Guerrilla.
Horizon
Forbidden
Forbidden West.
Just Horizon, Guerrilla, and just Horizon in general. They've been getting fucked.
Why?
Last time it came out,
Oh,
The Legend of Zelda came out.
I see.
And
You're
then this
saying
time-
like the way that they structure when their game is coming out.
Yeah, like they had no
They're being
choice.
overshadowed a little bit.
A little bit. Last time it was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And this time it's Elden Ring. Elden Ring.
Yeah. Which sucks because, they're really good.
Yeah, they're amazing games.
But people that play them know that they're good. It's not
Sure.
like they're
And they are different enough where, like, if you like Elden Ring, or if you don't like Souls games, Horizon's gonna be the one you go to.
yeah.
It's a very different game. Very,
because-
very different game.
Let's be honest. This type of game is not for everyone.
No, like I was saying, there's a few things I have problems with it. I know there's people who probably don't like the entire game at all. I've heard about some people that have played like 10 minutes of it and they're like, this is stupid. Combat's lame.
That's like not
It's
even
awful.
enough time to really like
know.
understand the game.
Yep. But guess what? That's how I was back with Dark Souls 1.
Yeah,
When
no.
it first came out, I was like, this is ass. I beat the first boss and I was like, I don't want to do this. Or no, it wasn't even Dark Souls. It was Demon Souls 1. I beat that giant slug with shields on him. I forget his name, starts with a PH. Played it, got all the way to him, beat him, went outside, got my ass kicked by something else. I'm like, I've been playing for like 5 hours. I beat the first boss. I don't know what the fuck these people were thinking. And then many years later, Bloodborne, which made me go back and play them. And I'm like, I get it more. Bloodborne was definitely more approachable than any other one so far.
I think Bloodborne was the launching point for most people into Souls games. It was for me.
Yeah.
Like, I had always seen Dark Souls and be like, yeah, that looks really interesting, but I don't really know if that is for me. And then Bloodborne came out.
Because I also just love the whole Lovecraftian, like...
Cthulhu kind of...
tentacle monsters from space. Space alien monster gods.
Hell yeah. I mean, Bloodborne was so unique in a lot of different ways, and it was challenging enough to where it tickled a lot of people's fancy for that that difficulty.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't as punishing, like I was saying
because
before, with the health.
I think the main people's problem with Dark Souls is that they are so aggressive, and that you're not rewarded for that.
Yeah, the games, you got to be more... It's more about strategize on how to beat it. Like, it's, all right, this guy does a lot of big swinging things, so I got to wait until he does a couple of those and then do it.
Because while Bloodborne, you do still have to take care of, like, trying to learn different enemies,
combos
and stuff. It's a lot more forgiving in that you could just go, and just start hitting them and be okay because you're getting your health back.
Yeah.
As long as you land your rolls.
With, in Bloodborne, for those who haven't played it, which, if you haven't...
What are you doing? Stop listening and go play right now.
When you get hit, about 3/4 of your health is still like a darker hue of red, but it's still there for a second. And if you manage to hit the boss, you get little chunks of that back. So if you go crazy and aggressive, you can get about 3/4 of your health back that you lost, which is an excellent thing. That go get aggressive, be crazy, jump around like a crazy rat person. Like it rewards you for going crazy and getting in there. Dark Souls is a little more. It rewards you for being smart and being more exact with your moves.
At least in the beginning.
Yeah.
Later on, once you become OP, it don't really matter because you can just one-hit most things.
Certain things.
I mean, certain things.
Just like if you take too many swings, they're going to just punish you by doing a crazy combo that...
Yeah, but by that time, I would hope that you've gotten a hang of the game and can kind of adjust. But especially, like, what I'm talking about is, like, early on in the game and, like, learning the mechanics. It's a lot easier for people to be aggressive and not die as much as you would in Dark Souls before you start getting the good gear.
Yeah, it's funny. In Elden Ring, the gameplay is probably my least favorite part of it. Like, I'd give it a 7, but, like, the art of it.
Oh my god, gorgeous.
Like, the graphics and the art.
I disagree with the gameplay.
I mean, it's not bad. It's just my least...
I know.
It's my least favorite of an amazing thing.
Yeah.
It's like having a delicious pizza, and one of the toppings is your third favorite topping. It's not your favorite thing on the pizza, but it's still a delicious pizza.
It's still a delicious pizza, and you're happy you're eating it.
Yeah, but the graphics, it's still running on the old... I think it's still running on the old engine. They didn't come up with any new engines.
Yeah, they didn't. But what they got out of that old engine for this, I was not expecting, to be honest. No. Like, it looks so nice. I know many people have said this, but it looks like a painting.
Yeah.
Like, far off in the distance that you can... Like, there's a specific moment I remember when I got to one of the areas, and you're in this lake, and you look up, and there's this almost Hogwarts-looking kind of castle, and it's got like stars in the background, got the giant golden tree. I'm like, this is gorgeous, and then I'm thinking, I'm gonna be up there and looking down, which is really cool.
Yeah, that you can just go pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, it's not a like whole separate area.
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
It's just like a pretty thing in the distance that they made that just for art reasons.
Yeah, no, it's like, no, you're getting in that building. Most things you see, you can get into.
Yeah. And there's so many moments that they do in the game where it's just like you come through a door or you go through an area. They set it up perfectly where it's like, here's a new area. Take a quick look at all this beautiful area that you're going to be going to. Push open 2 giant doors. You're just on the edge of a cliff looking out on a beautiful area.
Yep.
And I thought it was really cheeky of them and funny. If you remember correctly, at the very beginning of the game, after you first awaken, it's called something like Anticipation's Approach or something like that.
For what?
Like, it's just the area that you're in when you first start.
Oh, when you first, yeah.
It's called Anticipation something or something like that, like Anticipation's Approach or Unrelenting Anticipation, which I think they put that in there just because they knew everyone wanted to play it. So they're like, let's be cheeky little bastards and be like, oh, you're at the anticipation. You're anticipating it, aren't you?
Ready. Also, something that do really cool with like the visual cues is that again, going back to the way that they tell their story and you progress and like accomplish things, like when you get the look of the whole landscape, there are very specific things where you're gonna be like, oh, I gotta go over there and check that out. Like it's not like you're getting a whole flat plane of just walking around and not really understanding things that you should be going to do, because the things that you end up doing are things that you see, and you're like, I have to go check that
it's
out.
Like, hey, there's a bunch of enemies over by that house. Why are they over there?
Why are they over there? Oh, that's a new enemy. And
then,
they're like,
then
oh,
you go,
kill
them all. You kill them all. Yeah, let's kill all these enemies, and then there's a door over there.
Yeah.
Where does this door lead? They're good at like putting an enemy or something in front of something, so that way you kind of like go to deal with that, and then you're like, oh look, there's something over here.
Something they do that makes me laugh, and I hate it, but I love it. They fucking trick you every time you're in like a place, and like you'll see like an item, right? And you're like, ooh, item. So you go start walking, not realizing that like the angle that you're looking at the item at is like, and like the angle of like the corridor that you're in, they're like hiding somebody over here.
Yep.
So you're like anticipating to go pick that up, not thinking about the ambush that's about to happen.
You never get anything for free. You either have to work by jumping to it or figuring out how to get to it, or you got to fight something to get it.
Yeah, and they usually like stick one in there knowing you're not going to see it.
Or they like to pull real sneakery and like put like an item in the middle of a big area, and you're like, all right, when I pick this up, I'm getting attacked. You walk over, pick it up, and then nothing happens.
Yeah,
I've had that it's only been a few times, but I had this one area. I was 100% sure it was going to be a boss fight. It was like a big open, like it was outside on a castle. It was a big open area, and the items were right in the middle of the area on a body. Picked it up,
and you're fine.
Nothing happened.
Well, there was one that got me where there was a chest where in front of the chest, the floor dropped. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that hasn't happened to me yet.
Yeah, well...
Oh, great. So I
have
got
fun
that
with
to look forward to.
It's only one that I've seen, though, so it's not, like, laid out everywhere, which is where they get you, because they sprinkle it in there.
They don't do it all the same.
No, it's not all the time. But yeah, I am enjoying the crap out of this game. I can't, like, give my full review, obviously, because, honestly, I think this game is going to take me at least 60-plus hours to beat.
Yeah, no, easily.
Because I'm not just going off and doing just the main bosses. Like, like my build can't. As a mage, if you want all the things, you have to go out and explore and
I just
want
to go. I just want to enjoy exploring.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I do enjoy the story of Souls games. Like I'll like go up and look up a video to enjoy it, but that's not why I'm playing a Souls game.
Yeah.
I'm going around to explore. Well, this one is more of exploring, but I'm going around to look, see things, see if what I can find out myself. But exploring in this game is way more important to me than like, oh, I got to go beat the main bosses so I can get to the story. Because you're not really going to get that even if you go kill the main bosses.
Yeah, you're right.
But bringing it back, one thing that I was a little upset about in this game, but the more I thought about it, I understood because I've been playing it. When you play multiplayer, you can't have your horses at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So at first I was like, that's really dumb. You have to walk all the way across with your friends. One, I could see they want you to like play a little more. Two, the horse is pretty overpowered when you're on it.
Yeah.
I've kicked the crap out of things by just cheesing it and like running circles.
Now
around
imagine having like a horde of your friends coming on the horses.
If you have you and two other friends just spinning in a triangle around an enemy, wailing on it. I could totally see why they wouldn't want that, because you could cheese the hell out of that.
And, it is kind of a different experience, because I do think this game gets way easier when you have somebody playing with you.
Oh, yeah. Because just to have them be able to pull the attention of an enemy away, just enough for you to heal even. Just
so much
suck
easier.
Down a potion or something.
That being said, though, I think it is a different vibe so like that lake I was telling you, it's a large area, and if you summon somebody in, you're kind of huffing it the entire time. It's a way different vibe of you, like, just blowing through everything with the horse to try to find, like, sites of graces for, like, checkpoints, and then you can explore out from there. This is, like, you're really, like, paying attention to, like, even, like, the small groups of enemies, because now they're kind of in your way. Like, you can't just, like, run by them. I mean, you could, but you have to, like, way around. But yeah.
Sticking on multiplayer, it's definitely the easiest they've made it to, like, get into people's games. Like, we're having to use items to summon people in. The fact that you can just take two, I think something flowers starts with an E.
The
Elden
flower?
Erd flowers.
Yeah, the yellow ones.
The fact that it just takes two of those and you can make an item to summon a person
and you get it back.
Only if you beat the boss.
Yeah.
But the But they do that and a few other things just to make it.
Plus, there are a lot of those flowers around to craft this thing.
They do that and like stuff like they block off certain areas that you can't go with teams because you got to go over. I wish they do that so that way it's more like in-game lore. It makes sense. Like you got to do all this stuff to have people in. You can't go there because the bosses are like their powers preventing you. I wish they just go a little more video game on it and just let you drop in and out.
I mean,
like just let me just join a friend in progress. Let me
just
go anywhere.
Like wherever you want.
Yeah. I understand you want to make it like in-game lore. It's okay. No one's gonna think your game's worse because you did that. In fact, I'd probably be a lot more happy that you did that. I just want to join my friends
whenever you want.
And my biggest problem with this game, sorry, I don't know why, I was talking about this and it made me think of this. I hate that circle is run, and the left stick is to go into sneak mode.
Into sneak mode.
You know how many times I tried to run from an enemy and then gone into sneak mode, and then if you tried to hold the run button while in sneak mode because you knew you messed up, you're kind of just speed sneaking. You got to like click the stick in again to get back up. So I'm slow crawling away from an enemy that just ends up hitting me.
See, that's just a mindset, Charlie.
No, there's so many buttons in this game that don't make any goddamn sense.
Well, all Souls games are circle for run.
I know they are, but it's wrong, and they need to get over it. I've also had times where I'm trying to like line myself up to run across like a cliff.
They've also have never had the sneak button before, so now it kind of makes a difference.
Yeah.
If you because before pressing,
it just didn't do anything.
No.
So it wasn't a problem then. But going into sneak mode, which slows you down, is my biggest problem. And like things like another problem with sprint being circle. I'm looking at a ledge. All right, in most games, I like to set myself up. I got to jump across to get to that. Which jumping is new in this game, so it's another reason why it's showing that circle's a bad run button. Line myself up perfectly. I like to usually hit the sprint button and then do it. But if you try to hit circle without moving, you jump backwards. So like normally I had to hold down the circle button and run, or I had to hold down any sprint button and run first in the game and then jump. In this game, if you try to hold down the sprint button first, you're gonna backstep off cliffs, which has happened to me multiple times.
Yep.
But other than that, it's been an amazing game.
It's so good. I actually want to just stop talking right now and start playing some more Elden Ring.
I was sitting at home like, man, do I really do? Yeah, no, I guess we should do this podcast. I could just play Elden Ring though.
Could just play Elden Ring, Charlie.
But switching gears now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we'll
I think we said enough.
We'll probably have
30 minutes later.
Yeah, we'll probably have a little more to talk about next time once we get a few more bosses under our belts. Play a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you haven't played a lot of the Pokemon games recently, right?
No, I really haven't. Mostly, I have a thing with Pokemon, and I've told a lot of people about this. I really think they need to start stepping their game up more. I do like that they kind of try to change it up with, what is it, Arceus? Arceus. I do like that they're trying to change things up now, and I think that's headed in a good direction for what they're trying to accomplish there. But when they're doing their normal Pokemon, like, game, it's always the same, and they're all super easy, unless you're playing online. I would like a Pokemon game that does two things. This needs to be accomplished for me to be happy, okay? I need a second game file. Why the fuck are we in 2022 and you can only use one save file? You have 3 starter Pokemon, for God's sake. That is just screaming for you to have different playthroughs without me having to delete a whole other playthrough that I might want to go back to later on.
Well, you get those. There's a lot of times you get those Pokemon later on, but
no, I get that.
But there is no excuse for.
But like normally, when you play a Pokemon game, you have like a specific like amount of like the Pokemon team that you play with is the Pokemon team that you're gonna want to play with that entire game. What if I want to do another playthrough, but I don't want to get rid of that one? We're in 2022, people. 3 game saves are at least like necessary.
Even Dark Souls.
Even Dark Souls,
From
man.
Software, yeah.
Or Elden Ring. What are you doing? We need more game saves. Like it's easy to do, right? There's no way that they shouldn't be able to do this. I know I feel like I'm like very passionate about this. But, and that's because I am, god damn it.
That is one of the biggest things. It's like, especially with it being a family game, Nintendo's a family system.
That's what I mean. What do you got multiple people playing this game?
When I was younger, I had like, oh, my cousin's going to play Pokemon. Yeah. So I lent it to him, or let him play it, and and deleted my file, oversaved it with theirs.
Tell me you weren't heartbroken.
I was heartbroken.
Exactly.
But yeah, like,
You know an easy way around this?
2 save files.
2 save files.
Even 2.
Even just 2. I don't even need the 3. Bare minimum 2, please. All right? Whew, man, I'm sweating. The other thing that I need from Pokemon games is a difficulty slider.
Okay, cool.
Because I understand that there are brand new, like, beginner Pokemon trainers that are getting into it, and they're like a quote-unquote family game, right?
Yeah.
I
For the
get
youngest,
that.
yeah.
But for the people that have grown up with your games, we're now, like, in our 30s and 20s, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
People go, oh, Pokemon games are for kids, but no.
No.
They're for the people who've been playing them forever.
I was a goddamn kid when it started off.
Yeah, you want to get kids to play, sure, and
Yeah.
have new people in, but
And
you
I'll
should
tell
also...
you right now that those Pokemon games that I grew up with are way harder than the ones that I'm playing now because they actually were paying attention to, like, the actual... Like, what you're supposed to be doing with Pokemon games are recognizing the type of Pokemon that you're up against, and then choosing a Pokemon that can counter it, and then you have your moveset that you tailor.
Which is all evolved. Like, they've added so many different
Right.
types,
And
probably
with
since you've last played.
all those types now, you almost don't even really have to care about it. It really doesn't matter. Pick the Pokemon you want, pick a goddamn Magikarp, and you can get through the whole game being a Magikarp.
I don't know about that now, but
I've seen it done.
I do know what you mean, and yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it was, but there was one of the games where, like, if you try to get just to the Elite Four, they have 5 Pokemon at most, when you could carry 6 total.
Yeah.
So it's like, how are these people the best, and they don't even have a full
That's
roster?
what I mean. And, like, don't give me a Pokemon trainer out there that's got 4 Pidgeys. I don't need to fight 4 Pidgeys.
I mean, there are the children trainers. You know, I could see some dumbass little kid being
Okay,
like, oh,
maybe
look at my birds.
Maybe a few that you can stomp along the way. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
But, like...
A more adult-oriented. Now, it doesn't have to be, like, you know, violent and bloody, but, like,
No.
you don't start off as a kid. You're just a Pokemon trainer in the world.
I would like somewhat of a challenge.
You lost your job, and you're like, fuck, all right, I guess I'm going to become a Pokemon trainer.
So become a Pokemon trainer.
Tired of working in retail. Let's go be Pokemon trainers.
Yeah, where's that story? Where's the
Sad businessman fighting to support his
who
family.
lost everything, was like in the gutters, and like you got like a Pikachu that comes up to
Hard
you. Hard
alcoholic. You're in the streets in a gutter. Just a Pokemon walks up to you. Hey, Pika Pika. You're right. I can turn my life around. Let's do this.
And there you go.
Or even if you just want to do even more adult themed stuff, like Pokemon being used for war.
Yeah,
You know?
something. I mean, they'll probably never go that
No,
route. But what I need is just... I'm not even going to care about story for now, because that's also trash.
Yeah,
but
people aren't playing Pokemon for the
no
story
one's playing
ever.
Pokemon for a story ever. I don't care about that. Give me a good, solid gameplay with 2 game files, and I'll be happy.
No, I can agree with that. Arceus, you probably didn't play it.
No.
They changed things up quite a bit. Like, it's actually,
I've heard
like,
and I've seen it, and I'm
toss
happy
out your
about that.
Pokemon, and you actually you're still running around and
Yeah.
standing there, and you could choose their attack
I
battles.
think that's a really cool idea.
So the reason I brought this up is they're coming out with a new Pokemon game.
Uh-huh.
I'm surprised. It makes sense you haven't heard of it. We're going back to colors, apparently. It's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Okay. Are they
Yeah.
not? Aren't they kind of close colors?
No, Violet's like a purple. Scarlet's like a red.
That's Scarlet's like a deeper red, isn't it?
It's different enough. All right.
Okay.
And all of the Pokemon, I don't know if you've known this, because like I said, you don't play a lot of Pokemon, but a lot of the
Not anymore.
areas are all like based on like areas in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like the British.
I do know
Scotland.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one's supposed to be like Spain,
Okay.
which is kind of cool. They're going like a little more,
A little spicy.
a little spicier. But they've just announced the game. It's coming out the end of this year, apparently.
Okay.
Even though Arceus just came out,
Mm-hmm.
it's coming out a little bit towards the end of the year. They haven't released too much about it. Just like some pictures and stuff. They're saying that they're kind of mixing a little bit of Arceus in there,
Okay.
where now everything's supposed to be like a one big world.
Okay.
Like, it's not just like, you're on the trails and then you go into a town.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the town's like part of a forest and you kind of go into it. It's kind of a little more open worldy, as you can see from some of these. And the starting Pokemon, they've shown the first 3.
Oh my god, I'm
I
seeing the
wanna
one already that
I
you're
wanna
showing
see
me.
what your choice is.
I'm already with that one, whatever that is.
Sprigatito?
Oh wow, this is what Sprigatito?
Sprigatito?
Sprigatito, grass type. He looks
It's an
like
attention-seeking cat Pokemon. Capricious.
that is adorable.
Then there is for Coco, the fire alligator type.
Okay. It's also adorable. I love the like one tooth on its
one tooth on the top and 2 teeth on the bottom. Then we also have the Donald Duck of the group. With
Quaxley. Oh, I love
nice
it.
little hair.
I love it. Yeah.
Now, they do it all the time, so you never get truly surprised. Eventually, they'll show the second forms and then the final forms before it comes out. I need to see a little further in, but I don't know, man. I'm looking at Sprig.
The Sprigatito, if nothing changes, I don't even normally go with grass type Pokemon.
Yeah, no.
I'm usually water type all the way.
But
that's adorable.
Yeah. Now, I heard a lot of people are annoyed because there's been fox/cat Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times they start off cute little cat like this and then they all follow the same path. They grow into furry bait. They just start standing up on two legs.
Now, imagine if all it does is just gets cuter.
Well, it's just a tiny little puff cat.
Yeah, it just becomes like a puffball.
But I can see them going down that route with this Pokemon, just looking at it.
Yeah, they better not ruin that.
Pink eyes, it's gonna stand up.
I have to see the second evolution.
I like crocodiles. I had Fraligator.
Yeah.
When during the what was
this
it?
one looks like it should belong in Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the Fuecoco, I think is his name.
The
Fire Gator. Let's call him that.
Mm-hmm, Fire Gator.
And when I first hear that, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be awesome. Looks a little goofy.
He does look a little goofy.
I was kind of looking for like a vicious fire alligator.
Yeah, he doesn't look vicious at all. Well, neither does the cat. But I mean,
I'm hoping he evolves into like something a little cooler down the road, like Fraligator, like Totodile was the Fraligator.
Yeah.
So he looked goofy as hell.
I'm pretty sure that Fire Gator here is gonna have a glow up for like the third evolution.
I hope so. And then Quaxley just looks cool.
Quaxley just looks like the man.
He's giving me vibes though. What was his name? The guy with the piece of grass that he held like a sword.
Oh, man, what is that guy's name? What an old Pokemon.
Pharaoh? No, not Pharaoh. That's the bird Pokemon. Wow, I cannot remember for the life of me.
I feel like it starts with an S, but maybe I'm wrong.
Either way, he reminds me of that. So I'm kind of having trouble seeing what he's gonna turn into.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he gonna turn into a swan? Maybe. Is he gonna turn into Elvis with that hair?
He is a duck, is he not? They're saying Quaxley,
yeah,
so
no,
quacks.
He's a duck type. He's the earnest and tidy duck Pokemon.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Or is he gonna be a nerd? Quaxley sounds like a nerd.
Watch him put like glasses on him later on.
And then, weirdly enough, depending on what game you start with, is what outfit you start with.
Okay.
So
wow.
Violet gets a nice violet outfit. See, you can tell the difference between Violet and Scarlet.
Okay, yeah, I see now. They did go kind of like a brighter red with that Scarlet.
Yeah, but that's gonna. Apparently, at the end of this year, that's supposed to be coming out.
I can't believe that that's already being churned out. They really the maybe the third thing I have to say about Pokemon. I really wish they would stop treating this like Call of Duty.
It's actually they don't come out with one every year though.
It's like fairly often though. For like the games that they put out, there should be more involved.
Yeah, it's just they put a lot of filler out. It's actually been a long time since the last. I think when did Sword and Shield come out? 2019.
Possibly.
They come out with a lot of filler games. I like to call them Arceus. They have the remakes of Pearl and.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
It's a lot of like it's a new game. It's a game that's
it's
like
new, but it's not new. Well, Arceus is new, but.
Yeah, but they tried to they were seeing what they were trying a whole bunch of new things to see what would stick.
Yeah, I'll have to I'll keep my eye on this Pokemon and see what I think. But for now, it's gonna be a hold.
You're gonna wait and see.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get hyped until I see what I want them to accomplish.
2019, Sword and Shield came out.
Oh yeah, so
it's about
a little bit.
I mean, so
a couple years.
Speaking of Call of Duty, did you hear that they're not this year? This year they're still coming out with Modern Warfare.
I did hear that they're taking a break.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah,
they're gonna take a break.
I don't play them. They're not my thing.
I enjoy them. I'm more of a single player person.
Yeah, same. I
so
play some multiplayer games.
So when they announced some of the Call of Duties were like, oh, we're not putting campaign in it anymore. I was like, every year you're coming out with a new one and you're not putting campaign. I'll see you next time.
Because some of the Call of Duty campaigns were pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoy them. They're fun little, it's all like watching an action movie.
Yeah.
Playing an action movie.
Yeah, and they're pretty solid graphics.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, epic action scenes. But
Vanguard did not deliver at all, so They're kind of like, yeah. Even though it was the #1 selling game of last year.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Call of Duty's always like incredibly high selling.
Yeah,
even
I
though
guess you're right.
But it didn't meet their projections. And they actually had problems with their own game, Call of Duty Warzone. A lot of people are just playing Warzone instead of playing Vanguard. So they're like, maybe we should just put some time in between them. We can have Warzone like kind of fill in that in between time.
Yeah, because people just keep playing that.
But they didn't want to leave them in a World War II setting, so that's why they're going to release. It's a Modern Warfare is the next one coming out. It's Modern Warfare 2, like in the Modern Warfare series.
Okay.
So they're going to go more like modern fighting.
Gotcha.
And then take a break after that.
Gotcha.
Other than that,
there was like one more thing.
There's a few things.
Okay.
We got a few things.
All right, lay it on me.
Switching off of games, fitting in perfectly last week with Crunchyroll.
Mm-hmm.
I gave you my Crunchyroll login, so you could try it out, feel it. I didn't realize that Funimation and Crunchyroll combined into one now.
What?
Yep, they have all of the things from Funimation have been added to Crunchyroll.
When did this happen?
It like finalized recently. The actual apparently this deal happened a long time ago.
So is it just one umbrella company now, or
yes? Crunchyroll pretty much has a stranglehold now on anime.
So does Funimation just not exist? The app?
It still exists right now. I think they're going to be like phasing it out though. Like if you have Funimation, cancel it and just go to Crunchyroll because that's where it's all going to be.
Okay, well that's nice.
Yeah,
I kind of like that better because
yeah.
remember how I was telling you the Funimation did a lot more dubs than which we did and go look at it. Crunchyroll doesn't have as many dubs as Funimation does.
So hopefully that'll also be nudged over too.
Yeah.
But it could be bad because like I said earlier, a lot of the Crunchyroll originals haven't been that great. And now Crunchyroll has a solid, pretty much they're the king of anime now. They have the biggest anime platform streaming service now.
Yeah.
So
they really need to step their game up with that.
Because it could help with Netflix and
what by them failing?
No, Netflix and Hulu. Now that they have to go originally they were trying to dabble in anime, and because they didn't have a big competition, they were able to come out with some good stuff. Now it's Crunchyroll and it's everything on there. So hopefully maybe they compete with each other a little more.
Maybe.
I'm just worried. But it is nice to have everything there. Like, you don't have to have the two apps to go to. Even though the Crunchyroll app is pretty ass.
The Crunchyroll or Funimation app?
Crunchyroll.
Okay.
It never seems to get, that good quality, when you're streaming it.
Oh, okay.
Seems always 1080, maybe a little less. Good, really high-quality action starts kicking in.
So what you're saying is if I can find it on Hulu, watch it on there first.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people
I do watch, actually, most of the things that I watch on Hulu. It's on there.
You upset me. But yeah, so I just want to let you know about that. So even more for you to watch now. We'll probably find a show or two to watch. If you guys have any suggestions, send it our way.
Yeah, let us know.
TopadoMediaJunkie@gmail.com.
Topadoes.
Topadoes Media Junkie.
Junkies.
Junkies.
Get it right, Charlie. They need to know where to send us stuff.
As I said, TopadoesMediaJunkies@gmail.com.
There we go.
Same spelling as the podcast.
Boom.
If you have any suggestions for JJ, because he's still looking for some anime.
Yeah.
I've watched plenty, but, I would like to hear what you guys want to watch. What you guys suggest. Maybe we'll watch a few.
Yeah.
Come back, review it. Talk about it.
I'd be glad to.
But
don't shake your head at me.
Later on, we're going to be going out to see Batman. The Batman.
Yeah, The Batman.
And we'll be coming back and doing a little review on that.
You'll have already gotten that episode before this one, most likely, so you know that.
There's going to be some time warping going on.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting one before the other, but if you haven't seen it yet, by the time this is up, the Batman one will be up. Go watch that.
Go check it out. See what we have to say.
No spoilers, obviously, but we'll just give you our quick feel, sort of like we did with the Uncharted movie.
Yeah, we'll be coming hot off the grill.
Did you see the madness with the Uncharted movie? Critics absolutely hate it, but fans love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's all over the place. There was a lot of people, even fans that didn't enjoy it, which I can see.
Kick hated it.
Yeah, there were some people that are fans of the game that didn't like it, and I could see where you wouldn't like it.
How'd your sister feel about it?
My sister loved it.
Alright, so, yeah.
But, I think it's the mentality of going into those movies. We went in knowing it was going to be an action movie.
Yeah.
That was an Uncharted umbrella.
Yeah.
With Tom Holland and...
Yeah, I thought they did way better than...
It was good.
And like had some people sending pictures that were like, oh look, yeah, Tom Holland, Nathan Drake, they look so alike, and I'm like, you know, it's supposed to be. And then they were like making jokes like, oh, we're gonna have this person play this person, and like having way miscast people.
Oh, you know what?
And I'm like, you do know that it was supposed to be him when he was younger. It's not
30-year-old.
It's not old Nathan Drake.
This is him like just starting out.
Yeah.
The other thing that I heard some people talking about that had issues with the character developments of the movie just didn't really go anywhere. Everyone was kind of screwing everyone over, and they kind of felt like nothing really happened where they, got better or this or that. But it's like
they're thieves.
They're thieves, man.
They literally
they're gonna
really
screw
stealing
each other
from
over.
each other.
Yeah,
it's millions of dollars. I've betrayed people for that.
They straight up said they're gonna betray you.
He said, "Don't trust me."
Yeah. They tell you what's gonna happen.
In fact, Sully said multiple times not to trust the other person.
Yeah. So anyway, I digress.
The Batman. I do not foresee this being any kind of bad. I'm sure everyone will like it. From the very early reviews I've heard, the action's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fighting scenes are amazing, which that's what. For Batman, I would say that the fighting scenes are everything. I personally like back when he goes a little more detective side too. You don't get a lot of that in the movies.
Yeah.
When he's being a detective. You usually get Batman kicking people's asses or him showing up questioning people.
Right.
You don't see a lot of the world's greatest detective putting
putting clues together.
Crime scene clues together.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like that's what was great about the Arkham games. They had a little bit of that mixed in there.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I hope they do a little something with that, but fighting scenes are always great. Even though I hated the movie Batman v Superman, awful movie to me. Just an abomination. But the fighting scenes on that were really good.
I think also for our generation, growing up with the Batman that we have gotten presented to us so far, like in our era, like obviously there were earlier Batmans.
Speak for yourself, youngin.
Well, yeah,
I'm an old man.
I'm like 2 years behind you.
More like 5, but
but still, what I mean is like you have a lot of different Batmans to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
Like there have been multiple in our lifetime, right?
And George Clooney Batman,
the best Batman,
like nipple bat,
nipple man. But there are many different Batmans to choose from that you can really say are your personal favorite. They all bring something very different to the game. None of them are the same.
I've never had from all of them, I haven't had really a bad one. Other than George Clooney. But that was even back when superhero movies weren't really taken all that seriously.
No, and specifically Batman was like not taken seriously at all. It was all about like the, kablam and whatnot.
Well, that's Adam West. You want to go way back.
But I thought they were still even leaning into that.
No, because the first 2 Batmans were from Tim Burton. They were really dark.
Yeah.
They were very dark and very serious. That wasn't jokey. There was no blamming and whamming. There was, you want to go nuts? Let's go nuts.
You want to see nuts?
Man electrocuted a guy into a skeleton. Little corny. Very good job, Nicholson. So it was a little corny, but he killed that man and turned him into a skeleton in front of everyone.
Straight up murdered him.
Murdered this man in front of him instead of going plow. Gotcha. But unfortunately, in almost every one of the Batman movies, there was a little bit in the Bale movies where he did a little detectiving, but I don't remember any live action Batman ever being a detective.
Not hardcore.
No.
I'm hoping maybe they give him a little bit more of that vibe with this, especially being the Riddler. You kind of have a little bit more.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they have a lot of. I'm so happy to see the Riddler. I love you, Jim Carrey, but he played crazy funny Riddler.
Right, which is good for that scene.
This feels like they're pulling more of a Heath Ledger route with it, where it's like I could see this guy being a domestic terrorist.
Yeah,
like a real psychopath person as a Riddler, not just some cartoon. I'm a guy with a big green question mark on me. Like, it looks like some of the stuff he's doing is like Jigsaw level, like crazy person.
Oh, like from Saw?
Yeah, Jigsaw from Saw, the Saw series.
Oh, yeah, I do remember kind of seeing some of that stuff in the
so
trailers.
I'm really hoping that like it's kind of a mental game between the two of them. I'm hoping.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's tonight.
You'll know before you listen to this podcast if you listen to the one before it.
Did you listen to it yet?
Did you listen to it?
Because I don't think you listened.
I don't think you did. Did they listen to it?
No.
What are you doing? Go listen to it.
Did you know Catwoman was in it? You would if you listened.
You would if
because we would have told you.
You would have known. Now you look stupid. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
I'm not. But also, I just want to bring up real quick because we talked about it the other day, and I finally got to them. Been watching a little more Peaky Blinders.
Burned
through the whole first season and got a few episodes into season 2, where they did introduce Tom Hardy.
Oh yeah, how good is that?
I didn't realize he was going to be the Jewish mob leader.
I didn't want to give it away.
I don't know why. I thought he was going to be some. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. But I love it.
He blew me away. There's like one of his first few scenes. Did you get to the one where he beat the crap out of that one guy, and then like looked at the other guy and was like, "That was your fault."
Yeah, some guy, they're explaining. All right, you guys do this, you do this. He's in charge, blah blah. And someone wants to make a joke because even when the first scene, very first time you go there, they're talking about bread. He goes, "Oh, we make bread. We make white bread, brown bread, bread." I'm like, why the fuck are they talking about bread? Is that their like cover? And then they're talking about whiskey.
Yeah.
So all the people get hired to take over or to help out, story stuff. But he goes, huh? One of the guys is like, I don't see any bread around here. Do you guys see bread? And everyone laughs. And then the main Peaky Blinder,
I don't
Thomas?
remember what. I don't remember.
Thomas is.
Oh, you're talking about the Peaky Blinder.
The main Peaky Blinder.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He looks over at Tom Hardy's character and just gives him a nod. Walks over, looks at the guy that was making the joke, and cracks his friend right next to him, right across the jaw with a pipe or a
I think it was like
walking stick or something. It looked like it was metal.
Yeah.
But just laid him out one shot, and he's like, he'll wake up. He's not dead. He won't have any teeth. But the last thing he'll remember is your joke. You did this to him. You don't talk, and then he hit him with the old Fight Club. You don't talk about the bread. You don't talk about what your superiors talk about. And let me tell you right now, I'm a fucking sodomite, and so are all of you. You're not having sex with Jewish women. Just very good, impactful, loving the slightly unhinged, very ripped. Like you just see the muscles under his he's supposed to be some older Jewish man, but he's just.
And you hear the way he talks. Remember I was telling you, it's like super like garbled, got cotton balls in his mouth. That's one thing I love about Tom Hardy is he can change his voice like so drastically. Yeah. Like if you listen to that compared to Venom, you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah. he's got a good range.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I do love me some Tom Hardy.
But I'm loving the show. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, "Oh, let's sit down and watch the rest." Burned through the other 4 of that season and then watched 2 more.
Yeah.
So I got one night I almost went through 5 episodes, each an hour long, so
And Cillian Murphy, who plays Thomas, like your main Peaky Blinder.
Oh, so good.
He is my favorite actor. He is so fucking good.
Absolutely. And what's his name's really good too. The famous actor who plays his antagonist in the police force.
Oh, you're from the first season?
Yeah, he's in the second one too. He gets hurt at the end.
What the heck is his name?
The
he's in
guy.
Jurassic Park, right?
Yeah. What's his name?
I can't fucking remember names for the life of me. Go on, IMDb that shit.
But it's just the whole show is excellent. I was waiting for it to be over to watch it, which I didn't realize there's another season coming out.
Yeah, there's another season coming out.
They confirmed it and it's being recorded. It's the final season. They said it's the final season.
Yeah. So I think that'll be 5 in total because I think there's 4. Okay.
No, it's season 6, I think.
All right. Well, whatever the previous season was, do you know who Adrian Brody is?
Yeah.
Okay, he plays one of the best characters in Peaky Blinders, which is saying a lot because there's so many characters in it, but he does a old mafia style, like New York mafia style voice, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Like Godfather type thing, but he puts his own spin on it so it doesn't feel like he's ripping right off of the Godfather. Oh my god, what a fucking badass, man.
I have a problem with Adrian Brody.
Why?
I don't even have a problem with him. He was just very horribly miscast in something.
No.
Way back, this is going way, way, way back, during the Predators movie.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
He was the main character of the Predators movie, which in itself, not a bad thing. He wasn't that bad in it. I read the script. I've always been big into Predators and Aliens, got all the comics, got all the novelizations of the comics and movies and books. They actually came out with novels. All of them excellent. Reading the script, they casted him as a Arnold Schwarzenegger type. And you could tell from the scenes that he's in where he's got his shirt off and he's kind of just it said in the script, Arnold Schwarzenegger looking character. Same muscles and everything. And I look at Adrian Brody.
What a stark
and I'm
difference.
Like, what the fuck is that? That is not what I was told. And then he acts like him when he takes his shirt off, tries to go mano a mano.
Yeah, no, that's not his style.
And I haven't watched anything else really with him in it.
He's really,
Believe it or
really
not.
good.
I've heard he's
Like,
good.
he's a very, very good actor.
I can't get over his nose.
I-
He's
Joe,
got
I'll
a
tell
big
you-
old- I mean,
I'll
I
tell
got
you
a big
right now-
schnoz, but he's got a...
I'll tell you right
got a
now,
schnoz
when
on
you
him.
see him in the show, I think it'll completely wipe that out.
It'll
Because that
clear for him.
character that he plays is so fucking good in Peaky Blinders that it should just overshadow.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill
Thank
plays the police opposite of Thomas.
Yeah, yeah.
I like him a lot. Just, he claims to be very like, I'm doing it for the law, for the good,
Mm-hmm.
sleeping with hookers, and he's just a clearly bitter person, and he's got a vendetta.
Yeah. He's
really
a
good at it.
shifty person in
Yeah.
that. But he does very good.
Peaky Blinders, man, though. I was sleeping on it. I'm glad I'm watching it now.
Me and Ant have been telling you for years
Yeah.
that it's really that good. It's a quality show. I will say there's going to be one season coming up where you feel like it's a lot slower.
I
and
don't mind slow.
You'll see what I mean. Just get through it. You'll be fine. It's not their best season, but there is like a lot of stuff going on. You'll see what I'm talking about when you get to it.
Because I'm the type who doesn't mind, like, I have a lot of friends, you know plenty of them,
Mm-hmm.
who, if there's not some action shit going on, God, this sucks. I can enjoy a good character driven. Even when things go slow, I'll make it through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just keep watching. You don't judge a thing just because one thing went bad. Unless it's like constantly shit, or if they fuck up an ending. Like Game of Thrones.
I don't talk about that. Oh, my heart. My heart.
But I am enjoying it a lot. Once again, if you guys have any shows to suggest, any other thing else like Peaky Blinders, I'd like me some mafia shows. Topadoes Media Junkies at gmail.com.
There you go. You got it.
Got it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
But I just wanted to bring that up. Other
Is
than
there
that,
anything
though,
else?
I think that might do it. Huh? How long have we been recording? About an hour?
Yeah.
Good amount of time. I think that we'll put it here.
Yeah.
We'll come back. Maybe we'll do something else.
We'll be back tonight to record the Batman review.
If we have anything else, we might drop another little episode. You know, we'll see. Sometimes we might just have some random things drop.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
If
maybe.
we got something that we thought about while we're off air, then maybe
Yeah.
we'll come back to it.
a little present, a little gift, you know.
Yeah.
A little something for those. Listen out. I love you.
Whoa, moving a little fast.
Oh, I love all of our fans. Everyone listening. I love you. I would die for you.
Thank you potato heads.
Thanks, Potato Heads.
Appreciate it.
All right. But with that, anything you would like to say to these fine people?
No, other than I bid you adieu.
Goodbye.
Bye.